If I gave you the choice between accomplishing all of your dreams right now or putting them off for another year, what would you choose? It sounds like such an easy decision to make, but in reality, 99% of people actually pick putting it off for another year. But why would anyone choose anything other than happiness now? And what's stopping you from accomplishing all of your dreams today? The crazy thing is, when you understand why this happens, you only need to make one change to fix it, and the result will be immediate. But first, we need to look at the most common problem that's stopping you from accomplishing your dreams. And it often looks like this. You wake up, check your phone, have breakfast, work, come home, eat dinner, back on the phone, repeat. And it might not seem like much, but by repeating these things day after day, it's actually what's getting in the way of you achieving your dreams. Because it's human nature to avoid disruption as much as possible and stick with what's comfortable and familiar. In fact, it's been well documented that the fear of change has greater influence over your life than the fear of death. And that is the first thing getting in the way of your dreams. Because even with declining satisfaction and less fulfillment, you cling to your routine because it's familiar. And familiar, believe it or not, is more seductive than your dreams. But how do you fix it? Well, first you need to understand the second thing holding you back: pizza. There are two types of people. Which one are you? The person who eats the extra slice of pizza now because it tastes good, or the person who puts off eating the pizza for years and years so they can eat as much pizza as they want later? In other words, you're easily sucked in by short-term gratification and you put off long-term goals that would probably bring you greater happiness and fulfillment, but because they seem too distant, you don't bother. Or are you the opposite and you put off the pizza? You don't indulge in short-term gratification, choosing always to play the long game when it comes to what you want to achieve. You believe that someday in the future, all of your sacrifices and all of your putting off enjoying life will pay off later, like hitting the lottery. So which one do you need to be to achieve your dreams? Well, neither, because both of these strategies are destined to fail miserably, as both of them include putting off lasting happiness. So what's the solution? The solution can be found in the final piece to solving this problem. But what you need to think about is how you can combine these two strategies to have a long and a short-term game for your happiness. Think of short-term happiness and long-term happiness as buckets. If you only contribute to one, there will be emptiness in the other. Contribute to both, and eventually they will both fill up. So how do we lay this problem to rest once and for all? How do we finally break out of the limiting patterns we create for ourselves that keep us unhappy? Death therapy. Well, not really, but you can call it that.
You are going to die. What else is there to be afraid of?
Like I said in the beginning of this video, if you're unsatisfied with your life to any degree, know that your decisions are what's holding that situation in place. Make different decisions and your life will change. But how do you know what the right decisions to make are? You don't, and you won't know for certain because no one knows the future. And that's what makes change very scary. You could make a terrible mistake, couldn't you? But do you know what's even scarier than making mistakes? Regret. What will you regret more? The mistakes you made or not doing the things in life that you always wanted to do? Studies show us that mistakes are easily forgotten, but regret for not trying and for missed opportunities is far more difficult to deal with, especially towards the end of life, because there's no going back. Think about the areas of your life that you're unsatisfied with. Imagine 5 years if you do nothing different. How that dissatisfaction will compound. What is that like when you add an extra 5 years of dissatisfaction? Go out to the end of your life. Imagine it's your final hour of existence, and you're looking back over your life filled with putting off happiness until nothing, because you've run out of time. The point of making this video is not to frighten you, but fear is inevitable. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Fear is great for waking you up and alerting you to things that could pose a threat to you. By reframing fear, though, you can use it to your advantage. The future, the unknown, uncertainty, these should not be your greatest fears. What should be your greatest fear is, and this is probably going to come as a shock because you do so much of it throughout your life, and yet it's worse than death itself, waiting. People wait. They wait to do the things they want. So how do you solve this? Think of 2 to 3 things you can do differently every day or every week that will lead you toward a more fulfilling life, and start doing them now. They don't need to be huge life changes. Go with small ones first. Write them down. Stick with them until they become habits. Then add 2 to 3 new things. Keep doing this, and you will gradually move yourself and your life from unsatisfying to more fulfilling. By now, you're probably fully awake and ready to take action. You're done with waiting, but you're not quite sure what to do next. You may even feel like you're stuck and you need more guidance. In that case, you will definitely want to check out this next video about how to get out of a rut fast.
Oh, what's in the box? What's in the...
As much pizza as they want later. Much pizza. But you want to eat some pizza?